Good morning. Just ahead, we outlined some new legislation to help improve accessibility in the province. And we have more with the Grey Cup build-up this morning. Our Olivia Lawrence and Moises Canales-Savine are at Mosaic Stadium. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, Kim. Yes, we're both at Mosaic Stadium this morning, telling all the weather news, but also talking to Crystal Stess, the Saskatchewan Roughriders Football Club Director of Marketing. So it would be great to talk to her about all the Grey Cup festivities happening.
And of course, we're going to be talking about the weather today, light snowfall, and those winds getting high. We're going to talk a little bit how they'll affect us here on Global News Morning.
You're watching Global Regina. This is Global News Morning.
Over the past week, Global News has published a series of exclusive stories about a church-run school outside of Saskatoon. Former students say the education was substandard, even pushing one student to have thoughts of suicide. The school, Prairie Christian Academy, only said they are a faith-based school entitled by law to teach the love of God. Global News asked Education Minister Dustin Duncan for an interview for those stories, and he was only available for comment yesterday. Our Nathaniel Dove has his exclusive sit-down.
Minister, thank you for speaking to me today.
Yeah, thank you for talking to me.
Our reports have showed that a church-run qualified independent school called Prairie Christian Academy has been teaching that the world is approximately 6,000 years old, and that a staff member told a gay student there that being gay is wrong. All of this happened while the school was receiving more than $200,000 in government funding. Why does a government-funded school teach that the world is 6,000 years old, and why is a staff member at such a school telling a student being gay is wrong?
So first and foremost, we want all of our schools in Saskatchewan, regardless of their category or classification, to be safe and welcoming environments for all of our students. Certainly, the work that was done after 2012, when the new regulations were put in place and when funding was put in place, one of the things that we worked as a ministry to do was to ensure that the curriculum is in alignment with the provincial curriculum. So I am satisfied that the ministry, in terms of their oversight, does ensure that the curriculum is in alignment.
So has the government taken any new steps with regards to PCA since this reporting came out and since we reached out to the Ministry of Education?
So certainly the ministry has conducted one of their inspections. We have increased the number of inspections to all the qualified independent schools. And the ministry has worked with that school to ensure that they are providing, again, a safe and welcoming environment for all the students.
Cody Hamilton uses the word trauma to describe his time at PCA. Are you, as Minister of Education, comfortable with that?
I'm not comfortable with any student in this province experiencing any trauma associated with their education, regardless of what school they attend. Unfortunately, we have situations in all categories of schools, including public schools, where people do inappropriate things to children. And when that is the case, they need to be investigated. Those allegations need to be taken seriously, and people need to be held accountable. So we work very hard to ensure that we have safe and welcoming schools, regardless of their category. If students have allegations, they need to come forward with those, and they need to be investigated, and appropriate action needs to take place. This is not just a qualified independent school issue. Unfortunately, these types of situations happen in a variety of schools in Saskatchewan, and when that is the case, people need to be held accountable.
As Grey Cup Festival organizers prepared to launch the Grey Cup Festival right here in Regina, Global News was invited to get a sneak peek of all the exciting events and activations happening at the Real District. There will be plenty to take part in over the next few days, and our Troy Charles has more.
All right, here at the Grey Cup kickoff party, we're in the SaskTel Digital Zone, and we're at the Pose with the Pros station here. So can we just take me through? I'd like to do a team picture with the riders.
Sounds good.
Favorite team? Definitely with the riders. Okay, so now we're going to come back here. That looks good right there. Look at that, one of the boys. All right, and now if we wanted to, we could send our photo to our email. And you know, that's only a small fraction of what is being offered at the Grey Cup kickoff party. After the 2020 Grey Cup in Regina was cancelled, CFL fans in Saskatchewan remained patient that their day would come, and now it's finally here.
I now declare the 2022 Grey Cup has officially begun. Have fun.
And what's a Grey Cup party without the prestigious Grey Cup trophy, which was wheeled in by hordes of local youth football players. Even though the Riders aren't playing in the game, that didn't stop people from enjoying the live music and showing their Rider pride.
We're not in it, but it's still fun. There, I get friends from all over the league that are coming in, so it's going to be great.
Throw at the target. There you go.
Also having its opening night was the SaskTel Digital Zone, an interactive, family-friendly area with 7 different activities, including e-gaming contests and virtual reality dodgeball. 10-year-old Eva Montgomery got her first ever taste of VR out on the dodgeball court.
It was so weird. It was weird, and you felt all clumsy. It was weird.
You can really feel the excitement in the air, and who better than Rider legend George Reed to officially declare that the Grey Cup Festival has begun. It's time to party. Troy Charles, Global News.
We now head out to our mobile weather center and check in with Moises Canales-Savine at the Mosaic Stadium. It looks like, Moises, you got some new swag there, keeping you warm.
Check it out. This is some of the swag that it's going to be up for purchase, of course, with the Grey Cup taking place here on Sunday. I need this, though, Kimberly, because that wind really making it feel cold. Even though we've kind of been set up in an inside space here, we've got the windows open. It's cold this morning, folks. Minus 24 with that wind chill, as a matter of fact. But our current temperature right now, minus 13, light snow falling here in the Queen City. And looking at our satellite radar, that snow falling in the Regina Moose Jaw area is also looking at some southwestern communities getting some of that light snow here this morning. Now, we're not going to be at those mild temperatures that we saw yesterday. Back to the double digits today. Minus 12, as you can see, Regina, Moose Jaw, windy in Swift Current and Shaunavon. It's actually going to be windy in many parts of the province, including here in the Queen City, as we could see winds at 40 with gusts at 50 or even 60 kilometers per hour coming our way. Look at these peak wind gusts from yesterday, however. It was even a windy day yesterday. We had a peak wind gust of 61 in the Queen City, 65 in the Cypress Hills area. So it was windy yesterday. Those winds sticking with us here again today as we look at that wind future cast. We're seeing those winds anywhere from 30 to 50 kilometers per hour in the Regina area. And they're going to hold steady here as our Friday morning. I could even see some communities get up to 50 kilometer per hour winds or 60 kilometers per hour. However, coming up on your Saturday, looks like we'll be getting a bit of relief from that. Looking at a slight breeze in the Regina area from the southwest and along with Saskatoon. Now for your school day forecast here in the Regina area, windy this morning with that snow falling, minus 18. Lunch hour will be about minus 13, and final bell looking at a high of minus 12 and cloudy.
Sky Tracker weather is brought to you in part by Capital Ford Lincoln. The 2022 model clear out is on now.
The government of Saskatchewan has introduced new legislation it says will improve accessibility in the province. The province says over the next 5 years, new rules will be drafted for the public and private sectors that will set new standards for accommodating those with physical and mental disabilities. These regulations will extend to areas including construction, employment, and transportation, and will be developed with the help of an advisory committee made up of people with disabilities as well as advocacy organizations.
I think we really want to see legs to it. So, while it's great to have legislation, we need something that's enforced. So we're really hoping that we see, enforcement happen, and we really want to see that inclusion happens for our communities across the board. They've been left out, they've been marginalized, and inclusion is really important to all of us.
The Accessibility Act received its second reading in the legislature yesterday, and according to advocates in attendance, examples of regulated accessibility measures could include things like tactical markings, audible signals at crosswalks, and accessible transit. Still ahead, NASA's most powerful spacecraft is on its way to the moon. We'll have more on the significance of this long-awaited lunar mission. And now we've got a live look outside with our Global Regina City Cam, brought to you by the Capital Auto Mall on the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua. Light snow falling around the Regina area. Minus 13, but feels more like minus 24 with that wind chill. You'll definitely want to bundle up. It's going to be a windy one, continuing right into the afternoon. And you're watching Global News Morning. We'll be right back.